Indonesia erupts in protests over a motorcyclist's death and MP's lavish lifestyle. Indonesia is once again in turmoil. Streets have turned into battlegrounds, buildings have been set ablaze, and frustration is boiling over as thousands of people continue to demonstrate against the government. What began as outrage over soaring living costs has now spiraled into nationwide protests triggered by Parliament's controversial decision to increase lawmakers' monthly allowances. For months, Indonesians have been struggling under the weight of rising commodity prices. From food to fuel, the cost of living has surged, leaving ordinary citizens desperate and angry. But the spark that set off this wave of unrest was the announcement of higher allowances for members of parliament, a move seen by many as a symbol of greed and detachment from the struggles of ordinary people. Over the past week, the protests have escalated dramatically. In cities across the country, demonstrators have poured into the streets. Some rallies turned violent, leading to widespread clashes with police. At least 7 protesters have lost their lives as law enforcement forces resorted to heavy-handed measures to regain control. Government buildings, police posts, and private businesses have been torched. Even the homes of political leaders were not spared, with some reportedly looted by angry mobs. What has further fueled public anger is the tragic death of a young motorcyclist who was caught in the middle of a confrontation between protesters and police. Witnesses say he was struck during a chaotic clash, and his death has become a rallying cry for demonstrators, symbolizing what they describe as state brutality. Social media is flooded with images and videos of the incident, further inflaming emotions nationwide. In response, authorities have tightened security and deployed additional police and military units to protest hotspots. Government officials are urging calm, but critics argue that their words ring hollow while they continue to enjoy lavish perks at the expense of struggling citizens. Calls for accountability and reform are growing louder, with many demanding the rollback of parliamentary allowances and concrete steps to ease the economic crisis. Indonesia now stands at a critical crossroads. The protests are no longer just about allowances or one tragic death. They represent a deeper frustration over inequality, corruption, and a growing disconnect between leaders and the people they govern. As the unrest continues, all eyes are on Jakarta to see whether the government chooses dialogue and reform or further repression. This is a developing story. Stay tuned for more updates as the situation unfolds in Indonesia.